Well, welcome to Little John's Yarns. If you want to learn how to make this cool crochet basket, stay tuned. Welcome, I'm Alicia, aka Little John Yarns. If this is your very first time here, I create new patterns every single week. If you enjoy patterns, make sure you click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always up to date with what's going on at Little John Yarns. Well, today we're going to be making this cool crochet peacock basket. This was inspired by a photo that I seen on Pinterest. I'll leave the pattern for that in the description box below, but this is my own little interpretation of the pattern. It is a lot simpler, especially it's beginner friendly. And I teach you a cool trick in a video where I teach you how to turn worsted weight yarn into chunky yarn with only using one skein. And it creates this nice sturdy basket which still has a little flexibility to it. As you can see, I have yarn stuck in it to keep it nice and full. But if you would like an even more sturdy basket, I received a great tip from Melissa Miller. She told me that she used 2 strands of twine in one of my other crochet basket videos. It's for the crochet owl basket. I'll leave a link up above. But she used 2 strands of twine that she bought from the dollar store to make an even sturdier basket. So I think that's a great tip. And if you guys have any great crochet tips, please leave it down in the comment box below, and I may share your comments and tips in the very next video. But in this video, the stitches that we'll be using, I'm using single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and a treble crochet. So I won't be teaching any stitches in this video, so if you're not sure of those stitches, make sure you go learn those first. And next I'll tell you what materials that we'll be using for this project. We'll be using a 4mm crochet hook and a 6mm crochet hook, scissors, Caron 1 Pound in the color Bone, Caron Simply Soft in the color Bone, Blue Mint, and Country Blue. And if you find this video is moving too fast, just look to the bottom right hand corner of your screen. You'll see a little gear button. Just click that icon and you can adjust the speed of this video to your liking. Before we start our pattern, I'm going to give you a quick lesson on how to change worsted weight yarn into super bulky yarn. To do that, you begin by making a slip knot. After you do your slip knot, you put your fingers through the loop and grab onto your working yarn like you would a finger chain, and you would pull a very long loop. Your very long loop will, as you can see here, create 3 strands of yarn, and 3 strands of worsted weight yarn is super bulky. And you would work these 3 strands like normal. I'm going to give you a quick example of what it looks like after I start chaining. I'll chain a few and show you how to add more yarn. Okay, once you get to the very end of your loop and you run out of 3 strands of yarn, you just stick your finger right back into that loop again, grab onto your working yarn, and pull extremely long loop, so you don't want to have to keep redoing this over and over again. Okay, now that you know how to make super bulky yarn, we'll hop right into the video. And just in case you didn't catch on, I'll leave a card up above on a video that shows you how to make this yarn in detail. Okay, let's begin this pattern. Once again, we're going to create a slip knot to begin our super chunky yarn. Place your fingers into the loop and grab your working yarn. This time we're going to pull an extremely long loop so we don't have to keep pulling loops over and over again as we work. Alright, once you have your yarn ready, we are going to make a magic ring. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Your chain 2 will now count as a half double crochet now and throughout this pattern. We are going to place 10 half double crochets into the ring. 1, 2, and 3. You can pause your video here, continue placing 10 half double crochets into the ring, and I'll meet you back at the other side. Okay, we've made it back around. We completed those 10 half double crochets. If you include your first chain 2, that'll be a total of 11 half double crochets. Now we're going to slip stitch to join into the very top of your chain 2 stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2. Remember, this counts as a half double crochet. Half double crochet into the very same space. And we're going to place 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. So I'll show you the first few times. 1, 2, in the same stitch, move to the next stitch. 1, 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Okay, you can pause your video here. We're going to continue placing 2 half double crochets into each stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the other side. Okay, we've made it back around, and we're going to slip stitch to join into the top of your chain 2 stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to half double crochet into the very same space. And we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next space. Okay, now we're going to start to do our repeat. Place 2 half double crochets into the next space. 1, 2, and 1 half double crochet into the next. Okay, I'll show you the sequence one more time. 2 half double crochets into the next space. 1, 2, and 1 half double crochet into the next. Okay, you can pause your video here, and we're going to repeat this sequence all the way around by placing 2 half double crochets into one stitch, followed by 1 half double crochet into the next, all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the other side. Okay, we've made it back around. We completed that row, and we're going to slip stitch again, once again, into the very top of the chain 2 stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2. Half double crochet into the very same space. Okay, now we're going to begin our repeat sequence. We're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So your first stitch, half double crochet, 1, next stitch, 2, and I'm running out of yarn. You get to see how I re-add yarn. So I take my loop and pull a long strand. Alright, for your next stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochets into the very next stitch. 1, back into the same stitch, and 2. Let's repeat. We're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, next stitch, 2. 2 half double crochets into the very same stitch. 1, back into the same stitch, 2. As simple as that. We're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. Alright, you can pause your video here. From here on out around this row, we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 2 spaces, followed by 2 half double crochets into the same space, all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the other side. Okay, we've made it back around, and our work is looking pretty sturdy if I shake it. Alright, and we are going to slip stitch to join into the very first, the top of your chain 2 stitch. chain 2, 1, 2, half double crochet into the very same space. Okay, we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 3 spaces. So let's begin. 1, next space, 2, and 3. In your next stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochet into the very same stitch. 1, 2. Okay, and that begins your sequence, placing 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitch, followed by 2 into the same. So I'll show you one more time. So let's place 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Now place 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2. Okay, that's the sequence we're going to repeat all the way around. So pause your video here and continue to place 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches, followed by 2 half double crochet into the next. I'll meet you back at the other side. Okay, we've made it back around, and we're going to slip stitch to join into the very top of your chain 2 stitch. Alright, for this row it's just going to be a little bit different. We're going to place, well, I'll start first by chaining 2. 1, 2, and placing a half double crochet into the very same space. Alright, now we'll begin our sequence. It's going to be a little bit different this time. We're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 10 stitches, followed by 2 half double crochet into the same. So I'm going to show you one time. So we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 10 stitches. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And for your next stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochet into the very same stitch. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. I'll tell you one more time. We're going to place 1 half double crochet into each of the next 10 stitches, followed by 2 double crochet into the same stitch. So pause your video here, and I'll meet you at the completion of this row. Okay, once again we've made it back around, and we're going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 2 stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2, half double crochet into the very same space. Now we're going to start our sequence. We're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 11 stitches, followed by 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. Okay, this is going to be lengthy. I'll show you some as we go, this first sequence. So we'll do 1, next stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And now we're going to place 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1 back into the same stitch, and 2. You can pause your video here and we're going to repeat that sequence. We're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 11 stitches, followed by 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. Well, the next same stitch. Alright, pause your video here and I'll meet you back at the completion of this row. Okay, we made it back around and here's how the bottom of our basket look. And we are going to slip stitch to join into the top of the chain 2 stitch. Chain 2. Okay, now we're completed with all of our increases. So now we're just going to place 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. So now we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch, because remember this chain 2 counts as a half double crochet. And we're going to half double crochet in each stitch around. We're going to continue placing 1 half double crochet in each stitch around and slip stitching to join for a total of 15 more rows, including this one. I'll meet you at the completion of your 15 rows. Okay, we've made it back around and we completed our additional 15 rows, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, I'm already storing my yarn in it for this project as we go. Alright, so now we're going to slip stitch to join into the very top of the chain 2 stitch. And now, fasten off your work. Make sure you weave in all your ends. So here's how the basket looks so far. Next, we're going to move on to the peacock feathers. Next, we're going to create the peacock feather. And to do that, I'm using my Caron Simply Soft in 3 different colors. And I switched over to a 4mm crochet hook. So to do this, we'll begin with the blue yarn. And we are going to make a magic ring. After you make your magic ring, chain 2. 1, 2. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch. We're going to place 8 double crochets into the ring. 1, 2. You can pause your video here and continue to put 8 double crochets into the ring. Okay, we completed our 8 double crochets and we're going to place another double crochet into this ring, but we're going to stop halfway through. So yarn over, go like you're about to complete your double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop. And this is where we're going to change colors. So take your new color, mine is teal, wrap it around a hook and pull through those last 2 loops. And your color is changed. Next, we're going to place 3 more double crochets back into this ring. 1, 2, and 3. We can cut off our blue yarn because we're not using that anymore. Make sure you go back later and weave in all your ends. I gotta take my little notes off to the side. Alright, now we're going to place 1 single crochet into the very top of the very first double crochet. We're not going to slip stitch to join. So single crochet into the very first double crochet. Okay, now your little ring, you can tighten up the center of your work. Next, we are going to place 2 single crochets into the very next stitch. So 1, back to the same stitch, and 2. Single crochet into the next stitch, and place 2 single crochets into the next. 1, 2. Now we're going to place 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Place 2 single crochets into the next. 1 and 2. Single crochet into the next stitch. Place 2 single crochet into the next. 1, 2. We're going to single crochet into this last stitch, but we're going to change colors halfway through, just like we did before. So single crochet, stop halfway through, and I'm going to switch over to my lighter color. Let me cut my work now. Wrap the new color around your work and pull through. Next, we are going to place 2 single crochets into the very next stitch. I'm weaving in my ends as I go. 1, back into the same stitch. 2. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, next stitch. 2. Now place 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So we're placing 2 into the same. 1, back to the same stitch. 2. Single crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Half double crochet. Next stitch, place another half double crochet into it. Now we're going to place 2 half double crochets back into the same stitch. 1, back into the same stitch. 2, double crochet into the next stitch. Now place 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2. Now place 2 treble crochets into the next 2 stitches. So let's place 2 treble crochets into this next stitch. Make sure you yarn over twice and complete your treble crochet. Let's place another treble crochet back into the same stitch. That's 2. Now place 2 more treble crochets into that very next stitch. That's 1. Back into the same stitch. That's 2. Now place 2 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, back into the same stitch. 2, and half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 into the next stitch. 2. And we are going to, let me pause my video, I got to check my pattern. Sorry about that, had to recheck my pattern. Now we have our last 2 stitches. We are going to place 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. I'm going to stop halfway through this one. So 1, and your second single crochet into the next stitch and stop halfway through. And we have 2 loops on your hook. We are going to switch back to your teal color. Wrap your yarn around your hook and pull through those 2 loops. Now your color's changed. Alright, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the very next stitch. 1, back into the same stitch. and 2. Place 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and 2 single crochets into the very next stitch. Messed that one up. 1, back into the same stitch. 2. Place 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet. Next stitch will be your second single crochet. Next stitch, we're going to place 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 1 and 2. Now we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Place 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. 1, back into the same stitch, and 2. Place 2 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, back into the same stitch, and 2. Next, we're going to do a peacock stitch, P-I-C-O-T stitch. I always mispronounce it, so we're going to do that next. To do that, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Also, you can put the correct pronunciation in the comment box below. I always mess it up. Okay, we got our chain 3. We are going to slip stitch into the very first chain. And that is our picot stitch. I always mispronounce it. Okay, in your next stitch, we're going to place 2 double crochet. So 1, back into the same stitch, and 2. Your next stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochet. 1, 2. Now we are going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Place 2 single crochet into the next stitch. 1, go back into the same stitch. 2, and we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2, and just slip stitch to join into the very first tail stitch. And fasten off your work. You'll need to make a total of 6 peacock feathers and leave a long tail for sewing. Okay, now I'm going to give you a quick instruction on how I put the peacock feathers onto the basket. I laid the feathers out first. You know where you finished completing your rows for your basket. There's a little diagonal line that goes down the side of your work. I kind of laid my peacock feathers against there so I could sew it on and get a good even alignment. I took my hot glue gun and placed one little dot behind it and placed it on gently on each of them. And after they were laid down with that little one dab of glue underneath, I was able to stitch around the perimeter of the feathers. I'll show you quickly exactly what I did. Very simple. Here's a little bit of my tail end. I just stuck it through the perimeter, down, then back through again. I did that all around the perimeter. Next, I am going to show you how to put on the little handles on the side for your basket. To create the handles for the basket, of course, I use the simple yarn trick that may turn your worsted weight yarn into chunky yarn. And I chained 16. As you can see, I changed my hook. I always lose my hooks. But if you're interested in an Addy hook, I have a video for a review of that up above. I'll leave a card and a link in the description box below. So go ahead and chain your 16. You can pause your video here, and I'll show you what to do when you get back to the completion of your 16. Okay, once your 16 is complete, you are going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. And continue placing one single crochet all the way down to the very end of your row. So pause your video here, and I'll meet you at the completion of your stitches. Okay, once you're done single crocheting across, cut yourself a long tail end for sewing. What we're going to do next, we are going to fold your bag in half. So that's what I did here. I already attached the very first handle, so we're going to attach the other handle. To do so, I just look for the centermost 4 stitches of the corner. Since my work is folded in half. See if I can show you here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I'll go to the very first one. My work is already thread. I know this is probably difficult to see, but I'm trying to film and get my hands right at the same time. And just insert your yarn. And the first part of your thing is attached, and just go back and forth in and out through your work. You're going to do that a couple more times, and with the opposite side we're going to go over to the, remember, 1, 2, that's where these two are connect, 3, 4. We'll connect this side to 3 and 4, and your stitches will be sewn on like that. I'll show you what it looks like on the other side so you can see a better view. Okay, you see where the 4 stitches are? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have it sewed on the inside. If you enjoyed this pattern, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, if you want to make another basket, check out my crochet owl basket and all my other crochet tutorials. Alright guys, I'll see you all on the very next tutorial.